Zombies are everywhere these days, and more often than not, they show up very unexpectedly and very hungry. Now, you may not have a fresh supply of intestines or entrails on hand, but my recipe for my edible entrails will fool even the most ravenous of zombie hordes. To get started, you'll need 2 packages of refrigerated crescent rolls, 1 package of hot dogs, 1 egg beaten with a tablespoon of water, red food coloring, a pastry brush, rolling pin, a sharp knife or cleaver, parchment paper, and a baking sheet. First, you're going to take your hot dogs and cut them up into 1/2-inch pieces. Then pop open those crescent rolls and slice them into sections. Now you're just going to unroll each piece and flatten it slightly with your rolling pin. Place your hot dog pieces down the center of each crescent roll section. Brush one side with egg wash and fold over and press to seal. Transfer the pieces to a parchment-lined baking sheet seam side down. Shape the pieces irregularly to resemble intestines. Don't worry about how it looks right now. Having it a bit messy and irregular adds to the look of the final dish. They're intestines, they're not supposed to look pretty. Next, you're going to add your red gel food coloring to your egg wash. Gel food coloring works best because it's a thicker consistency and won't thin out whatever you're using it in. Brush the colored egg wash over the entrails using a pastry brush. Make sure every nook and cranny is covered. Then just pop them in the oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. If the entrails seem to be browning a little too much on the top, go ahead and cover them with a piece of foil for the last 5 to 10 minutes of baking. For the pepperoni pizza version, you're going to repeat the same steps, but instead of hot dogs, you're going to use string cheese and also lay pepperoni down on the inside. Now you're just going to place your cheese pieces on top of the pepperoni. Then brush one side with egg wash and press to seal. Once your edible entrails have finished baking, you can transfer them to a serving dish. I like to serve mine with either mustard or pizza sauce. Then just find someone to share them with. I think I have just the person.
This looks absolutely delightful. I don't mean to be a bother, but this is clearly a salad fork, not a dinner fork. Pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon?
Choke on them.
I beg your pardon?
Enjoy them.
No, but seriously, do you have any Grey Poupon?
No! Don't ask what happened to the last guy who forgot to subscribe to me on YouTube, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so the same thing doesn't happen to you.